That's going to be the caption of this episode. Lawyers say no to healthcare.
5 million times more successful than you are.
I think this is going to be a good one.
Welcome to hell. Devil's Advocate pits lawyer against lawyer in a battle royale to answer the age-old question, who's better at arguing? The rules of the game are, we spin the wheel of misfortune to decide on a topic. Once a topic has been selected, the advocates must answer a set of polarizing questions. When they disagree, the game begins. Each advocate must argue their side, but here's the devilish twist. They must argue for the side they did not select. Let the depravity commence.
All right, we're live. Welcome to Devil's Advocate. I feel like we should be saying something different for this game, like welcome to hell.
Not that intense yet.
It's pretty intense. So today we've got on partners at the law firm Richmond Vona. We've got John Richmond and Keith Vona on with us. I think it's going to be kind of like the best where you have folks who know each other and probably have like stewing disagreements about things and suddenly going to come to the front. I guess we'll see. John, Keith, thanks for joining. I'm going to spin the wheel. Let's eat marketing.
Of course, marketing.
It's okay to run Google ads on a competitor's name.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is the better position? Having a generic brand focused on billboard advertising or having an extremely differentiated brand with most marketing focused on digital?
Extremely differentiated, focused on digital.
The latter, for sure.
SEO is the most important marketing channel for law firms.
No.
Yes.
Okay, we got a game.
SEO, search engine optimization. It is crucial in the digital age that we live in for our firm to be on the forefront of this. It's extremely important. Generates so many leads to our firm, which in take will convert into matters to help feed the firm and the attorneys that work here.
Look, everybody's doing it. Everybody's paying a lot of money, especially for newer firms. You're competing with firms that have built up many, many years of SEO optimization, high domain ranking authority, high ranking pages. You could just keep feeding this machine where at the end of the day, what you could be doing instead is spending money on community events and brand building and kind of getting more creative to draw traffic to your website and ultimately build brand awareness and generate organic leads. Now, I will say, my opinion really is that it is the most important because it's your foundation, and all these other marketing activities you spend money on, billboards, anything out of home, TV, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, you need to be ranking really high so that long before people have ultimate brand recall, if they're searching for certain key terms that you actually do pop. But obviously I had to take the opposite approach for this one, but I get the debate. I mean, because I think a lot of firms probably go either way.
I know how important it is. I had to take a position. I was like, yeah, maybe that's not the most important part considering I don't do any marketing in the firm. So,
Okay, we're calling it on that topic. Very good. You guys did it perfectly.
okay.
We're going to go back on the fence.
So we got
for
a
the next
split
one.
decision there.
We had a split decision. Spinning the wheel. And we got New York. Let's see New York. Is Westchester considered upstate?
No.
No.
It's not.
So you guys are
surprising
truly
because they're
upstate.
both
Yeah,
right.
you're both actually upstate.
It's not an argument for me on that one.
We're
Because
actually Western New York.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's a different category. Okay, does living in New York City make you more resilient or more dependent?
More resilient.
More dependent.
I think this is going to be a good one.
Living in New York City, this coming from somebody who lived there for 10 years and started their career there, makes you more dependent. And I say that because you get so used to having everything at your fingertips, everything delivered to you so easily, whether it's food, having your laundry done, your dry cleaning, you name it, and it's at your fingertips. You walk out the door and you walk down any street and it's, every restaurant. So you forget how to cook if you ever even knew how to cook. You're not doing your, any of your own chores because you're out and about so much. You're living in some tiny apartment. You don't have to do anything. So really at the end of the day, you just become dependent on your surroundings, on everything that's at your fingertips. And then if you do leave New York City and you go to a, say like more normal suburban area, you got to restart everything. You got to relearn how to drive. You got to relearn how to do your laundry, how to cook. You name it. You got to relearn it. So it definitely makes you more dependent.
Well, I think it really makes you more resilient. I have never lived in New York City, but I've been there more times than I care to. I think it makes you resilient in the gruffness and the cutthroat attitude that New York City people have, and at least in my experience. So I think you have to develop a very tough outer shell, watch your back. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the city that you see on the news all the time in subways and people and things like that. So I think you have to be super resilient to live there just in that chaos.
Definitely makes you more resilient. I mean, they call it the rat race, right? But in the end of the day, really what it is like some of the smartest, hardworking people all in one area, grinding it out, trying to get ahead of each other day after day. And you're always, just when you think that you're being successful, you're gaining some momentum, you meet people who are like 5 million times more successful than you are. So
Never top of the hill.
yeah, for sure.
You guys did great. Think we landed on Keith for that one. That's a 1-0. Back on the fence.
All right, let's spin again. We don't have to do New York again. Nah, we're not going to eat New York twice. Okay, society. Let's eat society.
Plastic straws should be banned from restaurants.
No.
No.
Should there be stricter regulation on data privacy to protect individuals' personal information?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Should healthcare be considered a fundamental human right and provided free of charge?
No.
No.
That's going to be the caption of this episode. Lawyers say no to healthcare. Should governments provide universal basic income to all citizens?
No.
No.
Should voting be compulsory?
I'm going to go yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're done eating society. Okay, let's spin the wheel.
Okay, thank goodness. Eating business.
This one actually makes sense, kind of. You have a case where a reasonable settlement offer is on the table. Should you still take it to trial to keep attorneys sharp and insurance companies honest?
This is a loaded question, but just based on the reason you gave, we say no.
I'm going to say yes then.
I'll argue yes, that, look, even though you have a reasonable settlement on the table, you should push it to trial. And the reason why, again, is that the whole insurance companies responsible, put them in check, make sure defense attorneys understand and insurance companies understand that you're willing to try cases.
Work I'm willing to do.
And whether you take that case right there to verdict or not, odds are that value or that settlement offer is going to go up as you get, approach the trial, get through jury selection, put on your case in chief. And that's really how you'll know how your evidence is going in and how your case is presenting. And then, look, typically those offers aren't going to get taken off the table. You've proven your point, but you're also in a great position to either say, hey, look, we like how this is going. We're going to take it to verdict for more, or we're going to pull now and know that we've made our point and that they'll remember us next time.
I appreciate that, but what about the client?
What about me? What about me?
The client has all the stress that they bear, additional expenses on the case, no guarantee of a settlement. Trials get lost sometimes. Our firm is very much in tune with making sure the clients have the best experience, and if the client doesn't want to do that, we shouldn't be doing it. I agree. I love trying cases, but
And that was my point, though, because you still are putting out the client's best interest, because you're telling the client behind the scenes, like, hey, look, like, this offer is not going anywhere. Let's keep pushing. And as long as we can make up, which we believe we can, the amount that we're going to pay to experts, you're all in all likelihood going to get more as we pick the jury, as we start putting our case on. So, look, it's not like they're going to go in there and get nothing. Now, obviously, I would agree with you if the insurance company was like, hey, take it now or it's all off the table. We're going no pay and we're going to verdict. Then you got a tougher decision. You really got to look out for their best interests.
It sounded like what you guys were saying. It's loaded because long term, it's in the client's best interest for you guys to take cases to trial because it'll increase the value of all cases.
Right.
But short term, for that one client,
yeah,
maybe not in their best interest.
Yeah, I think you got to really straddle that line, right? You need to make sure the client has all the information and that, that they understand, hey, here's the risks or rewards of going forward. But I think that, a lot of times, like we were discussing, you can, start a trial, pick a jury, and you just see those values going up and up and up. And even if you then decide, or the client ultimately decides, hey, okay, now we've got more, now I feel more comfortable with this, that would be the time to pull the trigger. But of course, you always have to put the client's interest first, and you have to really check your ego and your firm's ego, because, if you follow your ego and not the client's best interest, you could, really end up doing a huge disservice to a client.
Yeah, I agree with that. You got to always take the client's interest at heart. They'll tell you if they want to go or not. You give them all the information, let them make the decision. You hope that they say yes, because it's a lot of fun.
Man, trial lawyers are something different.
We're gonna do one more spin here for our metagame. What is it? What are we eating? Personal injury.
Should there be a cap on punitive damages in personal injury cases?
No.
Okay. You sure?
I've never heard something responded to so quickly and in unison.
Now,
Perfect jinx.
some people in this scenario would have said yes because they know the other person has to argue that side. Should no-fault insurance systems be adopted nationwide?
Yes.
Yes.
Should third-party litigation funding be allowed in personal injury cases?
Yes.
No.
Got him. Okay.
Our clients, a lot of times, irrespective of their injury, there's a lot of people out there that are struggling. And if they get hurt and they can't go to work, they still have rent or a mortgage that has to be paid. I don't necessarily agree with some of the interest rates that are out there, but it is a necessary thing for our clients to have access to make sure that they can maintain their, at least the lifestyle that they were in with respect to where they live, things that they have to do for their family and things of that nature. That's why I think it's necessary.
So I'll say no, because of the nature of the industry as it stands today. It's essentially predatory lending with extremely high interest rates, and it creates a false sense of optimism in a lot of clients. And to the degree of which, I mean, these companies are willing to lend just a lot of money at extremely high compounding interest rates. And, no matter what you tell the client, they're getting something different from the lending companies oftentimes. And so they take this money up front, despite knowing maybe like limited insurance availability down the road. And then when you get to that point of trying to attempt to settle the case, it becomes extremely difficult. And ultimately, the client typically really regrets taking on the lending.
Oh, why did I do this?
Because they realize at the end of the day, they're hardly getting anything in their pocket and they're paying a vast majority of it back. I think clients should understand that nothing is guaranteed, and there are some other ways in certain situations like Social Security, disability, and other ways to get money quicker to kind of hold you through the tough times. That's brutal. Look, I think it's like a hybrid, right, Keith, of both, right? There are some cases where 100%, and look, there are some really good lending companies now too, and some non-for-profits that will really cap the interest rates. And when it's actually necessary and somebody has a really good case and they really need that money to get through the tough times to support their family, it's amazing. But unfortunately, lots of times people they see the advertising for these companies and they think, hey, let me go buy things that maybe I don't really need right now. And then it ends up really, hurting them down the road.
Yeah, worry about them taking it, like almost they're taking an advance on their resolution, right, so they can go buy something for instant gratification at times. Yeah. It seems like.
It's tough.
Very negative side to it.
Yeah.
That was a good one. We're going to move on to our last game here, our meta game within a game. So in this game, you guys have to define a made-up word. We're going to give you a word that does not exist, and you've got to tell us what it means.
Oh my God.
Okay, ready? The word is Verdantine.
What is it?
Verdantine. Verdantine. Verdantine.
Verdantine.
Verdantine.
Keith, go ahead.
Well, Verdantine is the opposite of Valentine's Day. Verdantine is you find the person that you despise the most, and you go to their house, and you take a paper bag full of dog feces, and you light it on fire, then ring their doorbell and run away and hide in the bushes and laugh when they stomp on it, get it all over their shoes.
That's such a good definition.
That's going to be hard to follow up, but I'm pretty sure you're wrong, and I'm pretty sure Verdantine is an old wooden Spanish ship that came over in the 1800s and was highly regarded for the way it was built. It was the first of its kind. Many modern wooden ships are based off of Verdantine. It was beautiful. I marvel at pictures of it every day. It's actually on my screen right now, so it inspires me every day.
Amazing. You guys did a great job. You're both wrong, unfortunately. Verdantine is. I think Keith got pretty close. Anyways, guys, this was a lot of fun. Thanks again for jumping on Devil's Advocate. Yeah, we're going to probably have a live poll too and see who other people think won. Where did we land? Did we land on the fence?
We landed on the fence, I think.
I think every game we've landed on the fence. Okay.
Pretty much.
Anyways, thanks again, guys, for coming on.
We appreciate you guys, and we're Personal Injury and Mesothelioma Law Firm up in Buffalo, New York, serving clients throughout New York State. We hope you never need us, but we're always happy to help if you do.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Devil's Advocate. Who do you think the winner was? Make sure to leave a comment to let us know. DM us for any ghoulish topics you think we should dare to debate. We'll catch you in the next one.